already. No, sorry.
Yeah. It's all right.
Well, hopefully I can try and make your day a bit better. So I've taken on the responsibility from Anita, who transferred departments, to
Oh yeah, that'll add that to the fucking list.
yeah. Well, I mean, all
3
of that,
months we fucking waited. 3 months because Bayweather thought I wanted to take over the Air One cert, only to fuck off.
Yeah, I really like Bay, so I think that was a shame. I'd like to have seen her running.
I hope
stuff.
she's dead.
Well, I hope she's not dead. So I mean,
yeah,
that would be awful. I really like her.
Yeah, you know the thing about, you know, when you consider how many people her tantrum and the collective tantrum, the BCSO resulted in what is now turned into us having to at the last minute in the 11th hour have to scramble to get helicopter licenses when we would have had it up and going about 3 months ago. That's where my anger stems from in regards to that.
Fair enough.
So you say
Fair
like
enough.
You know, personal feelings and whatever. Air One certification. I'll tell you this since it's related. We wrote legislation for helicopters 3 months ago.
Yep.
Without reading a single letter, the narrative began that the mayor's office, aka Nino Chavez, wanted to own the Air One cert, which you can read the legislation. Nothing on there implies as such.
That's
Rather,
not how it came across to me.
No. But that was the narrative. As a consequence of that, there was a transfer to Blaine County. And because of the internal politics between BCSO and LSPD, they wanted to own the Air One cert as they had the only pilots, according to them. And so over the span of 3 months, not a single individual was getting certified. So now all of a sudden, except eventually in that last week, it was like yourself and Anita. But the problem is 3 months later, we've got helicopters and now we've got like so much catching up to do, right?
We do. Yes, we're very behind, especially given people out there already have helis and there's no licenses.
Yeah, and then it gets even worse than that, because over this very conversation where I went to go talk to the chief of police, and I'm like, you can't fuck over the county by having BCSO, who's like a fucking small department, if you think about it, right? Not in terms of numbers, but in terms of responsibility, right? They're responsible for the fucking desert. And if they have the ownership of the Air One and the Interceptor cert, it prevents the LSPD from being autonomous, right?
Sure.
Masters of your own destiny. As a consequence of that conversation, the sheriff went to Angel and said that I am controlling LSPD for suggesting that you have your own certs, which almost led to an impeachment and one of the most brain-dead fucking text messages from a justice inferring that I'm doing things that I never did. So there's a lot of, man, you are very shielded.
All right.
You are.
I am.
Yeah.
Very.
But,
yeah, I feel kind of lucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
I get on duty every day. I feel, I mean, other than the lack of units sometimes, I feel supported, and you know, I feel like I can go out there and do some police work, you know?
Well, I'm not going to pollute your brain then with any more of this.
No, you're not polluting anything, so it's interesting hearing about it, and honestly, it gives me good context and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I'm lacking info sometimes, you know?
So the hangar has, I know it's getting close completion by Simone Industries.
Oh, it's done. I've had a tour around it from Simone.
Oh, did he say it's done? Like it's ready to?
I don't know if there's like more happening to it, but I got a tour around it. You show me the big doors.
Yeah,
big doors and the different entrances, the aircraft they'll be using, and
beautiful. The aircraft's in.
Oh yeah. There's
beautiful.
2 Vellums, which is like a prop plane, 5-seater, and there's 2 helicopters, and they're both in like orange and white, so it's very, they're very distinctive, so it shows that they're training aircraft. Spoke to Simone about requirements and background checks, which I've already started doing. There's been some applicants that he's pushed through some background checks, which are all through the MDT, which is fantastic.
Yes.
And for now, we both agreed on avoiding having people get licenses or apply to be a pilot, instructor if they have violent felonies or any hag charges on their record.
Uh,
It may create some problems. There's a lot of people who already own helicopters out there, and a lot of those people, I mean, let's say we've had a look, and there's around 20 people who have those little mini heli things. And those things are like 1.5 mil or maybe more. I can't remember exactly how much. And so I'd imagine those owners are going to be fairly upset with that. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on that.
Absolutely. So we have a couple things. First is we wrote this 3 months ago, so like I haven't even like reread what the fuck we did 3 months ago. It is being rewritten because the original one is so dog shit. But it's rewritten in the spirit of what this was intended to. It's just gonna be a lot more readable.
Yeah, it's very convoluted as well.
Yeah,
we agreed on earlier. There's a lot in it, but I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. But there was just a lot of things there.
Yeah, it's like
rewriting. That's good.
Between the formatting, it talks about like a bajillion different licenses and yeah. But I will say as follows: I am not opposed to felons having. So I'm not opposed to felons having pilot's licenses as long as they are not known to have used a aircraft in the commission of a crime, right? In the last, let's say 30 days. And the reason I say that is the current state of San Andreas has become so restrictive that giving individuals opportunities is only a good thing.
I agree.
And so in saying that, I think that it's healthy for the trainers to all be civilians, right? And the first round of the priority being giving licenses to civilians. But I think as time goes on and, you know, whatever that time span may be, handing them to civilians, at least, or sorry, felons who show interest in the art of air, I think would be good. And then slowly opening it up. So like, I think, right.
So I mean, if felons are okay, we're more so talking about just violent felons and then people with hag charges. Do you agree with having it like that, or do you think it should be a bit more open to begin with?
I think it should be like priority based on the severity, the prioritizing people with cleaner records and then moving towards those with more violent ones. And the reason I put it that way is, right now, because a violent felony includes like punching someone in the face, right? So
yeah, that's true.
So,
right. So something a bit more definitive in what kind of violent felonies. So example, you know, somebody that just punched somebody in the face, don't really care. But if you've shot at like police officers or you know, whoever, if you've been found like shooting at somebody,
maybe you put that more
police or whatever.
Exactly. So I think I would play it by ear, really, and maybe slowly open it up as time goes on, so that not only is the so the way that Nick and I spoke about recently is that the license itself should be like $100,000, right? Which isn't a lot.
I mean, not really, but I mean, it is quite a lot.
It's enough to sting if you lose the license. Yeah. Right? So
that's true.
What that does is it creates a system in which, you know, let's say Forehead, he's a violent felon, right?
Yeah.
But he brings a lot of value to San Andreas. And so if he had a license and he's talking about like, hey, I want to do air shows and do this and that, let the guy do it, right? That's, if anything, that's good. If he's coming in with a plan, as opposed to like, oh, good, just give me a license. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's like, you know, that's why I'm saying, like, play it by ear. If someone's coming in, they're like, yo, I want to do this and that, like, fucking let them do it. You know what I mean? Because as a worst case scenario, the guy uses it for a bank, right? Does it help him get away? Sure. The fucking money's insured. But you catch the guy, it's going to hit him by 100,000. So people are going to be a lot more.
And we the aircraft too.
Exactly. So there's already systems in place that add to the risk. And I think risk, especially in the current environment we have today where people are emigrating other places, immigration is down, right?
Yep.
Bringing more to people is only a good thing. And so that's how I would look at it.
I'm really glad you said that. I mean, I was worried it was going to be something that was like super Loctite and I'd have no leeway. But given, you know, like example, Arthur Lionheart, very passionate about flying, wants to be an instructor. I had to say no to him because he's got 2 counts of robbery of a low tier security institution.
He should go and get a expungement. I think your trainer should be encouraged. There's another one, Cuddlefish.
Yeah, she's got violent felonies, and I was really sad about that because I know she's passionate too.
But and her violent felonies, if I'm not mistaken, are from months ago. And I was like, just go and fucking get it expunged. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, like, if they get expunged, they'll be hired in like a heartbeat, I'm sure, because there aren't that many people. Let me just double check. There aren't that many people who have actually applied. We've got everything on the MDT, which is really, really helpful. So, it's good. Air instructor, no. So 2 have been accepted. 1 being Skyfae, another being Delver Lee. I'll speak with Arthur and Cuddles and try and get them moving forward. I did already say to Arthur he should probably try and speak with DOJ and see if they have anything in the way of programs that would maybe accelerate the process of expungement, depending on what he's actually getting it expunged for. So in this case, he's trying to get a job. I think it'd be really interesting and good if the DOJ recognized that and had something in place where they could push people through quicker than they would be otherwise. I don't know how legal that is, but it would be pretty good, I think.
Absolutely. So I would say the you know, this is a great program to get people play it by ear, you know what I mean? Instead of being formulaic with it is the way that I would look at it. If
I got you.
Even if it's a civilian and they come in and it's like, well, I'm bored. Here's $100,000. Like, why waste your energy? Why waste other people's energy over some like boring fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think people that add value to the sky, I think is a good way to look at it.
Absolutely.
I'm down with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I think it's going to be really good that like people will be made to do 3 lessons. They have to do 3 lessons, and then they're evaluated by someone that they haven't been taught by. So it's like authorized by a different instructor that does the actual eval bit.
Absolutely.
Which is good. It's only $5K per lesson as well, so it's not too expensive. But I think they've got pretty much everything ready down there. They've got refueling. They've repair kits are available at Mosley's now. Have you seen that?
I have.
Repair kits. Great. It's good news. It's like I had people coming to me saying, "Can I have a repair kit?" And I was like, "No," but it is just a repair kit, so I don't know. So I'm glad about that. That's good. Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely big focus for me at the moment on piracy and aircraft being used in crime, and specifically piracy. I want to get baffing on some of those vehicles.
Yep, absolutely.
That'll be good. It's just going to be a matter of catching them. There was actually a situation yesterday where PD were able to see inside.
I don't think you can even VAF those yet legally.
You can. They've got tail numbers and stuff. So
you say that, but I mean legislatively.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Yep. So someone did ask me this recently, which is why I looked at it. And according to the legislation, it says, introduction, in the interest of maintaining order of law and preventing criminals from overrunning the streets with vehicles used in crime. You'd really be stretching the word vehicle to include aircraft, right?
That is true.
And it says, vested in removing vehicles used in violent crimes to protect citizens from populated across the law. And then so if you read through the language of this, you'd have to really stretch this to mean aircrafts.
Fuck.
Yeah. So now that's not to say that I'm opposed to it. I'm just saying that.
No, you're right. It's legislation is legislation, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously then I need to try and put a suggestion in for that to be changed. Anyone can do that, right? Oh gosh. Oh no.
Oh, you don't know what's going on, do you, in our government?
No. I'm just a sergeant in LSPD, sir.
So what if I were to tell you that there's corruption at the highest levels of San Andreas.
Fuck. Okay. Is there?
Over the last 3+ months, my office, the LSPD, has been overrun by a campaign by a dictator known as Justice Angel.
Oh, fuck.
The bullshit that we've had to deal with is unsurmountable. Legislation, bullshit reasons coming up as to why things can't pass. Weeks go by before legislation is even reviewed. Legislation changing in the midst of action. I'll give you an example. The very legislation that allowed for businesses to get signed off on, somebody raised a grievance and legislation was changed mid-contest in order to prevent any of our legislation passing. Luckily, the people of Los Santos, through the art of democracy, we ended up getting everything passed by a vote. But then it only got worse. Why are the marshals only breathing down LSPD's neck and not BCSO? That's because they go directly up and rat out any little incident, be it carmine or maybe they think someone may have done something. It goes right to the marshals. And the next thing you know, I'm getting fucked. Daisy's getting fucked. Peters is getting fucked, etc., etc. Well, finally came this last election. And I helped Pred win. I split half my constituents to vote for Pred. Why? Because I wanted somebody that I could finally work with. Because you know what happens when two mayors work together?
Shit gets done. That's what I'd say.
It does. Because if we both sign legislation, it becomes state law. But Blaine County didn't want that. Neither did Angel. The moment he was elected, there was an old warrant that Bruce Collins tried to press on him as soon as he walked off the stage.
What the fuck?
That warrant was fucking dog shit. And I'm sure you can look it up and read it for yourself if you don't believe me.
Oh, I will.
As a consequence of this, there was a big conversation. Pred's the boss now. What the fuck are you going to do about bullshit warrants? 2 people were demoted, Bruce and the command member that was signed off on it. What the fuck's her name? Doesn't matter. Now go a little bit faster, and now all of a sudden a week later goes back. And you know what happens next? You know what happens next?
What?
All of a sudden, Pred's warehouse is getting raided. 8 hours after the purchase, night raid. You know what the justification for the night raid was? There might be a massive shootout by gang members if they raid it while he's around. Information comes out that the marshals probably already knew it was a fucking weed warehouse to begin with. So why the fuck did they press charges on him before the investigation was completed? You should go to that court case. But you know what happened? This guy no longer has the opportunity to do half the shit he can do, and instead he's been in a holding pattern. First deposition is this Saturday. And you might be like, well, you know, this is the small fucking beans, right? I had a drone following me around. I have a clean record. Yes. Marshall's following me. You know why? All right. The drone that was following me around, I couldn't understand what the fuck it was. 3 marshals around the corner while I was meeting with somebody and giving them legal advice. So I went down to the marshal's office and I requested a FOIA for that incident and for reports of me over the last 4 months. The next day, FOIA legislation changed. And while standing in this room, I was told I was abusing the system. for requesting information on myself. A practice that every lawyer does anytime they need to deal with a case that may be spanning multiple reports, such as criminal negligence of a firearm, because you need to know the entire history of the person's gun. Every report that references that they've found it missing and reports where their guns are found, etc., etc. Otherwise, you can't have a defense and you can't put a proper lawsuit together. If you don't believe me, take a look when that FOIA was updated. Second thing that took place is as a consequence of me suggesting to Daisy that she should have her own certs in the LSPD so that you could be autonomous, so we don't have this Air One cert situation again, or so that people are not getting gate kept from fucking interceptors. And that text message, the new martial legislation went into place, putting them as high command, allowing them to hire, fire, etc., etc. So we took a shot.
I did see that. Is that why we got audited? Is that what that was all about?
More than just that.
Oh.
Trust me, I'm skipping over a lot of details that paint the situation even worse. So I contested all of it. And since the justices were conflicted, it went to their bosses. And they responded, stating that the DOJ was overstepping their authority. That the line that they added on their own accord, stating they had uncontested authority over all legislation, was null and void. 2 weeks have gone by since I've done that. And there's not a fucking justice in sight to remedy the situation. All legislation is now at halt.
Okay. Well, fuck. I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
San Andreas politics. It's getting nasty.
It really is. It really is. Jesus, fuck. I'm kind of astounded, to be honest with you. I didn't expect you to say any of that.
Yeah. So when you ask me, how's my day going? I'll give you a kind of an idea why a nuke sounds pretty fucking good about now.
Yeah. The offer remains the same, sir. If there's anything that I can do to assist with any of that, I don't know what I can do, but if you need me to do something that's within my skill set, just let me know.
Keep your eyes and ears open. I think there's a lot of parties even within your force that might be doing things that are inappropriate, specifically leaking information to criminal organizations in order to best another one of their colleagues.
Oof. Yeah, someone's got to get fired for that, if that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't like leakers. It's not good.
No. And it's not just one thing. There's been a pattern. But anyways, that's probably a conversation you should have with Daisy at some point. We got a meeting to go to.
All right. Yeah, true. Jesus. But yeah, just no flight stuff. It's, Nicholas Simone is doing what I believe to be a really good job so far. I think he's got a good mindset for this stuff. Definitely knows his shit with flying too, so that's good.
Have you evaluated him yet?
I would say, I went up on a flight with him in both aircraft today, and his competency is perfect in both. He's constantly using air traffic control, despite they're not really. It sucks that there's not someone on ATC 24/7. I would love to see that. I'd also love it to be civilian run too. Yeah,
I think I agree with that. I think as time goes on, I'm sure you're going to find holes in legislation, things that need to be covered, tech that may not need to exist, probably SOP things on y'all's end. But
we have actually run into that already. According to legislation, we need to make sure that all of the officers are also certed through the flight school that have access to Air One. I don't want them to just be like, you know, I don't. I mean, obviously they'll be certified to fly Air 1, but they won't be certified to fly anything civilian outside of work, right?
Yes.
There's something both Simone and I agreed on was making sure that nothing was what's the word in favor of police officers. My car's out back, so I'm gonna go around.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, there's a similar problem with gun licenses. Like, I somehow magically have one. I do not have a weapons license, though.
Oh, you don't?
No, because the things I told you is a reason why. That's the very reason I never got a weapons license, because I knew the moment that like someone robbed me, that's the end of my mayorship.
Yeah,
So,
I feel that. I don't blame you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll shoot someone for you, sir, as long as it's legal. Give me a shout, okay?
Will do. You take care.